Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
What is going on, friends? Welcome into another episode of The Good Brothers. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, with the one, the only, the Good Brother himself, Alex Mercado. What's going on, good brother?
How's it going, good brother?
Everything is everything, my friend. You had a very long weekend. We all had a very jam-packed weekend. We're going to get into it on this episode of The Good Brothers. Before we get into that, though, don't forget to like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can like us on Instagram at Mike Mercado2333 to see everything behind the scenes. Subscribe to us on iTunes, itunes.com/Mercado Airwaves, and on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Mercado Airwaves. We had Royal Rumble, we had Takeover, we have the Super Bowl coming up. Alex came back from a huge competition. Let's get right into it. Good brother, you mentioned it last week when we were talking about that despicable story about Larry Nassar and Michigan State and all that. I'll get into it a little bit more on Saturday Sports Stuff. But you were in a competition, and just for anybody who doesn't know, can you, people kind of interested in know exactly what do you coach and what is like the age group? So like really
it's a bit long. Cheer coach. I was a cheerleader for, it's going to be my 11th year in cheer. I started when I was 15 in the offseason of football. Went to a really good high school, really good college, very successful, a couple national champions, couple state champions. But now I'm a coach. Just came back from Indianapolis, so you're going to be hearing my voice like this the next few months. Probably in the summers when you'll hear it normal for a while. But Indianapolis weekend, we won again, which is good. I have a large all-girl team. So the team I coach is large all-girl, 34 girls. Their ages are from 13 to I have an 18-year-old. I have one super senior, which means you're a freshman in college, but you have one more year at a certain age level in cheer before you go to the international, the grown folks division, which there are guys my age still cheering, which I don't get because I, a.k.a. retired very young, because a lot of guys still cheer into their 30s, and I think that's a little too much. I'd rather coach after a while. We have Dallas coming up, so that's probably the second biggest competition of the year. I just came back from the third. We don't have a world championship yet. This is our big national championship, I would say, I guess, before you get to the world championships, which are in Florida. And we've already secured our bid to it. So, yeah, go ahead. I know you have questions, so I think that will explain it more to people to get details.
For people who don't really associate cheerleading and any type of tumbling or any type of routines as a quote-unquote sport, how can you, for the layman's, how can you compare kind of the physical activity that goes into it? Because like for anybody who's a wrestling fan, we're going to get into it a little bit later about the Royal Rumble and NXT. You know, people say it's quote unquote fake, but they're taking real hits. They're athletes. There's athleticism in it. In your world, can you explain a little bit about what it takes, the physicality, the emotion, just everything from an athlete and a coach, whatever's
the best way to explain it, it's very gymnastics would be the closest thing to it, where it is a choreographed routine that takes some physical work and you are competing against other people. That's probably the closest you can get to it. It's very, well, I'd have to do a whole episode about the ins and outs. So simple terms, think gymnastics. The problem with cheer, and again, I'll get to it, is more a political thing of there's no one company. So there's the NFL, there's the NBA, there's every company has a main one.
IHSA.
But imagine, exactly, even the high school has the IHSA, which is why the high school is a little easier to get through. All-Star, there's several companies, and they really haven't decided. There's more money in having the several than deciding, hey, we're going to go under one Universal. Again, very political. A lot of people feel that a lot of head cheerleaders don't want to become an official sport because then they lose a lot of their money. They go under the Olympics, and that causes them to lose a couple more dollars, a couple more things. They just did build a new arena at the Worldwide Sports in Disney where the Pro Bowl was just at.
Yeah.
And they built a whole new cheerleading/gymnastics arena. And I don't think people are arguing the fact that it's a sport athletically. I think it's the fact that it's very unorganized, very chaotic, and very, what do I watch? Who do I watch? Like, it's a little easier in college, and even in college you're under two different leagues, UCA and NCA. And they don't connect at all. So, again, that'll be a whole different episode. But physically, think gymnastics meets some Cirque du Soleil acro of lifting people, throwing people, stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, let's say, because we're going to do a whole episode about it, but let's say it's comp week, and let's say it's an important one. Maybe it's not the most important one, but it's an important one. Can you kind of explain what that day is like from the moment you wake up to the moment you go on? For example, if you're a UFC fighter, you wake up, you go to media row, then later on that week you're doing weigh-ins, then you do an open workouts. What's it like leading into competition and competition day?
So I think that's one of the best questions. It's a little easier to get through. So like this week, so we competed. We had to be there by Friday, the majority of the teams that we have. So let's say the week starts, you have your first practice, which is just basically getting your last minute twitches and everything. You're going full out. You're running everything you need to run. By that last day before you leave, it's kind of a showcase thing where you invite family, friends, or most of the teams come in and they watch each other. They give each other pointers. We do our little staff meeting of how the weekend's going to go, how it needs to run, so. Then the day of travel comes. We travel in Carlos, Indianapolis. We just travel by car because it's only about 3 hours away, hour change ahead. They get you the hotel. You check into your hotel. You got to realize that just like every other sport, it's very political and social. So, you have to be out there. You got to make connections. So it is like that first flight. A lot of people do go out to these local hotel bars, and it's a lot of mingling, a lot of coaches' parties of just, mingling with other people, other top tier. The gym I work at happens to be the top gym in the Midwest. And then they have top gyms in Texas, Florida. So they were all there this weekend. So you're mingling, you're going out, and you're usually out all night, You're not getting obliterated. Like, it's not one of those stories you're getting drunk. You're socializing. You're talking. Like, you're literally talking hours of just, how do you do things? How do I do things? Like, you're making connections. You're making friends because biggest thing is you don't want to go in as a very eager gym or a very non-eager gym. You need to play the right role. Our day started at 6 a.m., so the competition starts at 7. So we need to be 6 a.m. because you got to go to warm-ups.
Yeah.
And warm-ups are timed and organized. So you're up at 6 a.m. and so we were up at 6 to watch teams and get ready to go for the first team we had. And I think we weren't done till about 11 at night is when the last team went. And our gym, again, is one of the bigger gyms, so we're required to watch every team. Not really required, but it's very, we want to because we're all very connected to the kids. Me and Cisco obviously teach run the stunting portion, so we do touch a lot of these teams that aren't even ours. So we're there for 17 hours. And the problem is it's very exhausting. There's not a lot to eat. You got to pay extra for all these things. They do give you a little coach's hospitality room, but it's very packed. These are convention centers we're talking about. So you're running from Hall I to Hall H to Hall J to Hall K for 17 hours. And then you still got to, at that night, you still got to go be social and political. You don't want to not be social because then you're not going to get the respect or the people aren't going to look at you the same when we get to the world champions and the national champions in Dallas. So you have to do that. So you're not getting a lot of sleep. You can listen to my voice. You're really losing your voice. And you get what we call competition sick, which is you're not eating very healthy because you're either not eating at all or not eating very healthy. You're drinking a lot of coffee. You're screaming a lot. You're not staying very hydrated. You're sweating. You're walking. So as you come back, you tend to feel very sluggish. It takes a while to get back to the mode just to get ready to go do it again. And then you travel back, obviously. You get your awards. And, that's for a small weekend. That's not even including the big nationals coming up. So, sure. That's just, 17-hour days. You're getting I got 5 hours of sleep maybe the whole weekend.
What's the turnaround? So let's say we just got through that. What becomes the next competition? How long until you're back into that routine again?
So our younger kids have a competition coming up in 2 weeks to get some bids to their summit. So the older kids go to Worlds and the younger kids go to Summit, which is basically the same thing. It's just, it's like comparing March Madness to the NBA championship. Like, there's just a different level of competition. Yeah. These are our younger kids would be the college kids. Our older kids would be in the pros, technically.
Sure.
Sort of. Like, that's the way you got to look at it. So they each have their own championship. So they're going for their summits in 2 weeks. And then everyone's coming together because they're offering both. Again, a whole separate episode of what these bids are and where they offer them. Right. And Dallas is the biggest national championship. That's where everyone's going to be there. It's kind of like a preview of Worlds. Okay. It's like your All-Star game. It's like you're going to see everyone there. Who's anyone? Right. It's a showcase. And you're after that, you're going to have about 2 more months of the World Championships to really determine where you're going to fall. Top 3 take globes, and that's where you want to land. In a sport like this, it's kind of like again the Olympics. You want to take top 3. You want a bronze, silver, or gold, and that's a very successful. In my division alone, in our divisions, there's hundreds of teams. Sure. Out of those hundreds, maybe 20-something make it. Out of that, 10. And out of that, 3 are going to globe. Right. And we're not including, there's 27 countries involved now. and that throws it off. Now, I'll admit these countries aren't the best, but some countries that are very good are Mexico, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Canada, Germany, and Britain and Australia have become very good. And Japan has one of the best international teams there is.
And that's just out of exposure and over the years. Like
they're just ridiculous. They're robots, I think, because they have literally one of the. They're the only other country that has ever won the world championship aside the United States team.
Interesting.
Is Japan, and it's they're incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think that's gonna be really cool. I think we'll definitely.
We'll do a whole episode about it when it comes to the world champions. I think we'll be able to do.
I think we could do
I'll do an
major
episode.
parts. We could do, let me get my investigative journalism thing going. We could get a really good story going. But all in all, it was a successful weekend.
Yeah, no, we won.
Yeah.
I got another ugly jacket. Like
so,
it's very like down there. It's like golf. We get very ugly jackets. Mike's seen them. I have. But to me, they're more trophies. Like, we're not going to wear them. I love it because you see the little kids wear them because that's big for them. And, like, maybe your first year you start wearing them. I guess I've become a little cynical that, like, I hate to be that guy. I'm like, I've won so many of these jackets that they're trophies. And I'm going to hang them up one day. Sure. And some are worth more than others. Like, PJ, you obviously want your green and your gold or whatever. Yeah. And then you get a couple white ones, a couple, random red ones. But there's the main ones, and... So I have those hanging in my closet. I got a real nice red tablecloth looking one.
Nice.
It was my first one from this brand. So I only need one more brand now, and I will officially have every single cheerleading jacket that's offered.
Well, I think that's gonna be a really interesting episode. I'm glad the girls won. I'm glad you guys were able to make some noise and able to go on a night.
Fun weekend, successful weekend.
Yeah,
it's good.
That's what you can ask for. So, good stuff, and we'll work on something to maybe get a nice, cool episode all about that. I really want to dive into like the world of from your perspective,
logistics, all that. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a really fun episode. But while you were doing that, while you guys were winning, there was also a lot of stuff going on around pop culture. For example, we have 2 Royal Rumble winners. We kind of have an idea of how WrestleMania is going to play out. NXT Takeover Philadelphia was the truth.
Speaking of Japan, right?
Yeah, no kidding. So you were right on both picks. You picked Shinsuke and you picked
listeners.
Asuka.
I hate being right all the time, but like, how can I help
not
it?
Right all the time.
Because I totally called it.
Shut up.
And hey, my second pick is not off. It's like Sami Zayn might throw himself in this title picture.
So we'll see about that. But,
I don't know.
Before we go. We're not going to go all match by match, but just let's start with Saturday night. I don't know. Did you get a chance to watch NXT Takeover?
I watched parts.
How did you enjoy it?
I love NXT Takeover. Like, there's never been a bad one. I thought it was very predictable, though.
Yeah, it was.
That was. I guess, what's the difference? Was like as good as it was. I like the surprise more. Like surprises. Like I think what was the one 2 months ago where Adam Cole and O'Reilly and Fish came out. That was amazing because that was a surprise. You see him in the ring and everything.
Sure.
This one was very great, but it was 100% predictable. Like if you did not get this card right, you don't watch enough wrestling.
Sure.
Because this card was easy to predict. Doesn't mean it wasn't great.
Right. I really enjoyed it.
And I've heard people say that the main event was probably the greatest main event in NXT
arguably
history. And the problem is, I'm like, oh no,
Gargano.
it probably was.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But at this point, it's like
every NXT Takeover.
Every NXT is a 5. Like you just can't separate them at this point. It's like comparing like Winter Soldier and Civil War. So I'm like, you can't. Like they're both tied. Like I can't separate one from the other.
No, so I'm really excited. I really enjoyed NXT Takeover Philadelphia.
It was good, yeah.
From start to finish, it was for as predictable as it was. I was on the edge of my seat. It had me going.
That's why they do a good job during the moment to make it feel like it wasn't predictable, even though at the end,
wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. Like you may know the ending, but they're going to distract you from that ending as much as they can before you're like, okay, oh yeah. No, I knew that was going to happen, but Jesus Christ.
And then at the Royal Rumble, Shinsuke Nakamura wins, Asuka wins.
I know the Men's Royal Rumble was probably the best Men's Royal Rumble in the last, 7 years?
Although by the end of it, I had a feeling we kind of knew what it was coming down to again. And again, predictability.
Because I think they could have easily, you didn't predict it.
I picked Roman Reigns to win. I thought Roman was going to win the whole time.
And I could have totally seen them make him win still.
Yeah, because he's still going to go to WrestleMania.
There was a while, I think they did a great job making you feel like Finn might have pulled it off. And like that I think what's going to happen is that Finn's not going to go for the title just yet. Because I think what happens at Elimination Chamber is him and Bullet Club go heel on Cena.
Yeah, I agree.
He fights Cena, beats Cena, puts him over at Mania.
He might put him over. I don't know if he will put him over.
Because that's why he lost on Monday.
Sure.
With the AA.
Yeah, no, I agree. And It's funny. I don't think
because I think we're going heel with them. I think that don't. And the
we're
only reason
totally
they're
going
gonna,
heel with them.
but the only reason they're going to beat him is because the Bullet Club's going to be there.
Oh
Obviously.
no, there's going to be a reason for it. And they're not
And
Triple
they're gonna
H
whoop
won't
his
let
ass,
them bury him like they did Bray Wyatt or
No, and I
yeah.
think like even with the loss to
Rusev.
Cena, it's like everyone loses Cena. I mean,
That's
Rusev got number one contender.
Yeah.
Rusev's big, man, and we both love Rusev.
Yeah, I
think Rusev wins the U.S. champion of Mania.
I agree too because they've completely
You got
dropped
it.
Bobby
If
Roode.
you don't,
Yeah.
And even Bobby Roode's doing great, but like Rusev's the top guy at this
Bobby
point.
Roode should be a heel, and he should be, he should be this. This
Well,
cocky
maybe
Ric Flair light.
Rusev wins, and then it's a double turn.
Maybe you could be 100%.
Because I mean, who got the biggest pop at Rumble was Rusev.
Rey Mysterio got a big pop too.
But
Shout out
Rusev,
Ray.
But Rusev, yeah, he looks great. But
Yeah, he looks great, yeah.
Rusev got the chance. Rusev,
No, I agree.
and he still does. Like they were chanting Rusev Day at the Mixed Match Challenge.
You know what? And shout out to Philadelphia. I hate Philadelphia. We'll get into it in about
It was
a
a good
second.
crowd.
But it was a good crowd.
It was a really good crowd,
Philadelphia
yeah.
crowd. So shout out to Philly for
But
that.
to be fair, WWE finally gave him something. Like
Yeah, I
you
agree.
didn't jerk him around.
And they kind of
you know?
trolled them just enough with like little teases throughout the night, and you're like, all right, cool.
It was
like,
one of those things where like you can't let Roman win, but that's exactly why you think that he might have won because you're like you can't do like you're not gonna. Oh my God, they might do it actually to double do it.
one of the biggest pops I had in the night was not even an intro to the Royal Rumble, but when they got into it and they're like, and coming up next, it's the 30 man Royal Rumble. You're like, it's not even 8 o'clock, and we're gonna get to watch the Royal Rumble match.
That was cool. I still think they should have closed with the men's.
Because
you know what?
I know why. Let's get into it.
Ronda Rousey.
They closed with Ronda Rousey. I think, and I agree with what a lot of people were saying before this. You have to end with Rousey beforehand. And we're just writing.
But that was the point. We even said like if the women's go last, it's because Rousey's there.
And we knew that. We knew as soon as they went last, we're like, Rousey's coming. And I actually texted you and Marcos. I'm like, oh, they're saying she's in Colombia or some bullshit. I'm like, that's all they work. Because she wasn't in Colombia yesterday, and she wasn't in Colombia
No, she was back the night before.
Exactly.
She was like that because that was from the morning.
Exactly.
And guys, Colombia is like on a for a WWE jet, it's like 4 or 5 hours.
So it was all
bad.
work. Yeah, it was all she
Like she was literally back the night before. She was
not
there
even
all
close.
morning.
She saw NXT Takeover. She was everything was there.
Because her girl was fighting. Like she was in the back watching.
Now let's talk about not even so much the reaction because I think whatever the reaction, it's great. I think she loves it enough.
Ronda Rousey's Miss UFC, and
Yeah.
now she's in WWE. Like,
Yeah,
so that's
so-
news no matter what. So I agree with them having to do
long-term
it.
plan though. She goes to Mania. Is she the main event of WrestleMania?
No,
Okay.
because I don't think she's wrestling at Mania.
So you don't think she's wrestling Mania? What
No,
is
'cause
her storyline in WrestleMania? Is she have?
I
Does she have a storyline?
think it's gonna be the rumor that she does a tag match of sorts,
With
or
The Rock?
maybe The Rock. Maybe she fights Stephanie. Maybe she just comes out and does something. Maybe that's where it starts leading to SummerSlam.
Interesting.
Because she still has a lot of work before she I know she wants to train more, and I know she's got more filming to do of a couple of movies before she can really
But
go.
she is full-time,
She's
quote,
full.
unquote,
No,
yeah. She is gonna be
technically.
full-time.
But no,
When it's all done.
see, people don't understand this. Like, she's not full time. She's got a full time contract,
Right,
Which is technically what Brock Lesnar
That's-
has.
yeah.
That just means you're signed. Like, you have to do these appearances.
She's
not like, oh, I have to do
She's
that
not going to
Monday,
be on the
Tuesday,
road
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
24/7. Yeah, she's not going to be on the road.
And
like
we don't know
Charlotte.
yet, but she's not going to do that anytime soon.
Right.
And we don't know when she comes full time if that means like, hey, she's actually going to be here
I agree.
every
I
Monday.
agree. Yeah.
The way it sounded is like I think by midway this year she will be on the road like Mondays and. But like, do you see her doing house shows? Like all the house shows?
No, I don't see her. I see her doing Garden.
Or do you feel like she's
Chicago.
Lesnar or somewhere in the middle of like a
No.
little more than Lesnar, but still not that
She'll
much?
be the equivalent of like when The Rock was around, where it's like he made an appearance on big shows,
Kind of
on
Cena.
big
So
cities.
Cena right now, pretty much.
And, Cena, I think, still does a good amount. I think Cena now has finally made that turn.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see in
Well, right now he's not.
60-something
He's
days.
not filming right
Yeah,
now, so it's
we'll
easy.
see. But he will be filming soon, especially if he gets Duke Nukem. Like he will be
What
filming.
he did for an ad. He did Cock Blockers. I thought he had another one. He has another
he does
movie
have
coming
one
up.
more coming up.
Transformers.
Yes,
He's gonna start filming Transformers probably right after in April. I think
Probably
so
right around
after
then. Yeah.
WrestleMania. ends.
So we'll
and
see.
that's
We'll
what
keep an eye on that.
back to my theory. Balor Club's gonna throw him down.
So before, and we'll get into it, we're about 60-something days away from WrestleMania. So I think we might come back to if there's interesting storylines along the way, but We'll wait for Fastlane, and we'll wait for Elimination Chamber to happen.
Oh, God.
And then after those two things
I actually
happen,
do like Chamber. I hate Fastlane, but I like Chamber.
I agree. And after we get into that, we'll have a show kind of now at that middle point, because for all we know, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens could be champion. It could be a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There could be 1,000
If
things
something happens, we'll tell you. If nothing happens, we won't bring it up.
Right. So that's at least where we're at here with NXT TakeOver Philadelphia and the WWE Royal Rumble. But Alex, it's time. We're going to talk about it in depth on Saturday Sports Stuff. But good brother, it is maybe the biggest weekend in pop culture and sports. Super Bowl 52, the New England Patriots, the Philadelphia Eagles. We talked about it last week. We know where you're kind of feeling on it. We've had
No,
time
I know
now.
where I'm feeling at 100%.
Where are you at 100%?
It's the Eagles. Like, guys, come on. Like, Tom Brady doesn't beat bad teams. He only beats good teams. Like, Tom Brady doesn't know what to do if he's going to be from behind. If he's not from behind, he gets lost. Like, the Eagles are going to win. The Eagles are going to win, and I think it's not going to be by one score. I think it's going to be by at least a 2-score game, like 10. I think it's going to be by 10. Eagles win by 10. I don't know where the score is going to fall, but I could see it falling 31-21.
Do you think the Philadelphia Eagles could put up 31
Yep.
points?
They put it.
Not against. I'm not saying that New England's defense is good. I'm just saying, do you think they could put up 31
If they can
points?
put them, if they can put what is it, 38 against Minnesota?
Sure.
They're putting up one.
But at least the argument now is Bill Belichick has had 2 weeks to game prep for Nick Foles.
Bill Belichick's also part of a thing. He's also. I've been there where you're somewhere, even though it's good, you don't want to be there necessarily. You don't enjoy what's going on. You're already kind of at the end of your road there. Same with Tom Brady, not playing wise, but the Patriots aren't internally doing well right now. It's a lot of drama going on. I mean, and I don't think that affects the thing, because I think at the end of the day, the Eagles are going to win regardless because they're a better football team. And I think when it comes down to it, is New England's defense is so bad, it didn't matter who's starting at quarterback because they got the position players there.
I think it's a very interesting point. I won't make my official pick until Saturday.
His pick is Tom Brady, people.
Maybe. I'll tell you. Let me give you a few reasons why I think.
I get you saving it for the show, but I can prediction here, people. It's Tom Brady. He's gonna go. He's gonna go the GOAT, even though the GOAT doesn't play well against bad teams.
Let me tell you a few things that I'm looking out for.
And what was it, the NFC North, right? No, the NFC North.
NFC North.
Giants.
What about
the Giants. He lost to the Giants.
NFC East.
NFC East. Sorry, the NFC
the
East. Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah.
We should be decided.
You're an idiot.
I know.
So here you go. Stakes for the derailment. All right, here are the reasons. This is where I'm looking out for. If Philadelphia comes out and drops 21 before halftime, and New England's down, when the second half starts, at that point, this is the question I'm looking out for. Is Philadelphia's top-tier defense mentally strong enough, and is Nick Foles good enough to not play game manager anymore, but to put their foot on the neck that nobody else has been able to do of the New England Patriots and break it? Now, can this be the time where they're old enough, they're hurt enough, and they've just been long in the tooth enough that it can happen in this Super Bowl? Sure, we almost saw it with Jacksonville. My question is, there's nobody better than coming back and winning a Super Bowl, let alone any game, but winning a Super Bowl than the New England Patriots. Is this the team? I asked this 2 weeks ago. Is this the team that finally says, no more? It's over.
Yeah.
Maybe. And maybe my answer would be completely different if Carson Wentz didn't go down. It might be. But as of right now, I have just one question. What happens if the game is on the line? Who has the more mental fortitude to win a Super Bowl?
I mean, we asked the same question when he played Eli Manning, didn't we? And guess who had more? Guess who it was? Eli fucking Manning, y'all. I'm just saying, guys. It's not a logistics thing.
Yeah,
like it's coming from for a football player. It's football. None of it makes sense. How can he lose to Eli Manning twice?
You're right.
A terrible New York team twice, but he beat the MVP, probably one of the best on paper teams looking ever, the Atlanta Falcons. How could Denver, with old Peyton Manning and a really very good defense, beat the MVP and one of the best offenses ever,
knock his
the
head
Carolina
off.
Panthers?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, none of this makes sense.
And that's why I'm not making my pick right now, because I may be leaning one way, but
why didn't Seattle run the ball? Why didn't Seattle run the ball? Like, none of these make questions.
Anything can happen.
But yes, I do think that the Eagles team is young enough, stupid enough. That's their power. They're stupid enough. They're unpredictable enough. They make no sense. So how do you prepare for a team that makes no sense? This is a team that everyone said they shouldn't be winning this much. It was a fluke. The quarterback went down. They're going to go out the first round of the playoffs. oh, Minnesota, they're going to get killed in Minnesota. It doesn't make sense, and that's going to be their power. Is it doesn't make sense. How do you prepare for a team that you can't predict?
Now, what do you think at the end of it when we come back next week and we're here for another episode?
And I'm right again. I'm going to say, guys, I hate doing it, but I'm always right.
So you're confident in
the
Eagles? We're
100%.
All right, cool. So you have Alex's official pick here on the Good Brothers.
31-21, Philadelphia Eagles win. I don't think it gets to a nail biter. I think it's going to be maybe close. I don't think it gets to a point where they're tied or a point where New England takes the lead.
Take up the guess, Alex. Obviously, it's going to be a fun weekend.
Not guessing when you're right, homie.
Well, we'll see. We're going to eat some pizza. We're going to have a good time. It's Super Bowl 52.
Oh, yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know yet. I work. I'm at the radio station till 3.
It's a holiday.
I know it's a holiday, but
I get off. I usually work till 7. I'm getting off at 3:45.
But like, since I get off at 3, I really don't care. So I'm just gonna
that's
watch the game. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So,
but he works the next day, so he'll be in bed early.
I don't know. Normally Mondays, though, I get to leave early after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because it's the day after the Super Bowl, so they let me.
But
leave
it's
early.
still you, so you're gonna probably be dozing off right when the last second goes. You'll be like, "Up, time for bed."
It's not like quick story. When it was the New England Patriots and the Seahawks, I was working at the radio station. It was a Sunday, obviously, and we had one of the worst snowstorms we've had in 15 years in Chicago.
And Mike tried driving through it.
And I tried driving through it, and my car got stuck, and basically everybody missed the Super Bowl, including the last play.
Not me, because I wasn't there. Because I was smart enough to go to someone else's house.
Yeah, you were somewhere else, so shout out to everybody who missed the Super Bowl and helped me.
House, yeah.
So, listening though to Saturday Sports Stuff, you'll hear my prediction. Alex has the Philadelphia Eagles 31, the New England Patriots 21, Super Bowl 52. That's the Good Brothers official pick here on Mercado Airwaves. But Alex, I wanted to get into something that you and I kind of talked about. I know here on the Good Brothers we talk a lot about movies, especially the superhero genre. We get into that a lot. Like it's one.
That is what we're supposed to do.
That is sometimes when we end up talking
it's January. There is nothing out right now to Black Panther. I know we haven't talked about movies in a while. It's because there's none out right now. Kind of wanted to see Den of Thieves. Heard it was fine, but I'll wait till it's on Netflix or something and watch it and have fun with it.
I want to talk about something that I'm really enjoying. Is on the third issue just came out, Doomsday Clock. It is the merger of the Watchmen officially and the DC Universe coming together. For any of you who are interested in it, Zack Snyder, who directed Justice League and Batman vs. Superman, also directed the Watchmen movie. And at this point now, where the DC comic books are kind of making it together. So long story short, I'm really enjoying it, but I wanted to ask you something. Do you think the comic book genre is just too out of hand, like right now, for people in the mainstream to even get on such a cool storyline that's going on right now?
Yeah, it's just it's hard.
Because it's a great story.
Like, it's like, no offense, it's like, I'm like that. I don't want to read a comic book.
Right.
I'd rather just wait till the HBO series comes out for Watchmen. And I like the movie. And it's not that comics aren't great. It's just like, it's almost like video games too. After you get to a certain point, it's like you got to pick what's your entertainment.
Yeah.
And I prefer mine to be movies and TV over. Like, the last video game I played was Injustice. I beat it in one night.
Sure.
And I touched it maybe twice since then. And that's why I beat it in one night. Because I gave myself time for that. The last comic I was even into was Injustice. You know, like the issues there. So, you know, like, it's a cool storyline. I'll wait till they make it an animated movie like they have been, which I love the DC animated. Respect comics and all that. I just don't have the time. I don't like to read.
It is a time thing.
Like,
it's a money thing.
It's not like it's a book on tape where like you can like you'll get the point of it. Like, no, half of it is you have to look at it.
The illustration.
Like, you can't just order. Like, I did The Walking Dead for a while. And even then, I was like, I need to take a break from this. I did the Sons of Anarchy one for a while. Take a break from it. So it's just not for me personally. Just like video games, not a ton of them, the new ones. Because all these new video games are so much. Like, even like something like stupid as Cuphead is like, there's so much into it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got time for that,
40 hour,
people.
50 hours.
And Justice has come out with 17 new characters, and I'm going to get all of them eventually and play as all of them. But I need to set time when I'm like on vacation in the summer, or spring break or something.
So what do you think it is, though, about a comic book genre movie that's so successful, and yet comic books, the source themselves, can't launch themselves? Because here's my argument. Game of Thrones comes out, right? The books are so beloved and with such a cult following. The show comes out. The lore is magical. People love what it is, like what it brings to the table. The book sales go through the roof, and now it's on a thing. Now, of course, it has a whole journey, and it's not endless like comics. But like the Dark Knight comes out, and you don't hear about things like the Killing Joke having a big run, or the Dark Knight Returns having a huge run again.
Well, it's like you said, there's a beginning and ending to some of these books. There's not a beginning and ending to comics. Like it's like even like where do I start? Like I want to read a Batman comic. Where the hell?
Where do I start?
Exactly.
Where do I start?
Why is there 17 issue ones? It's too chaotic, and I think that's the charm of it, and why it has this niche following, and why it's there. But look at Comic-Con. Comic-Con's not even about comics anymore.
Right. It's all about movies.
TV
it's all
and
about
movies.
TVs, yeah.
And that's where this is where it's
cosplay.
going. Like,
do you think cosplay is bigger than the comic books?
Yep.
That's crazy though,
Because
right?
you'll
Like,
get what do you see on social media?
people dress
Cosplay.
up.
You don't see comics.
Yeah. And it's unbelievable because again, like
Comics is like fighting a Super Nintendo video game. Like you might see an ad for it and be like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." Like I have a little comic up there that you got me
from New York City, Captain America.
That's it.
Yeah.
But
Like I love,
and even
books.
that, like the people that do read, it's virtual.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
It's not a lot of hand to hand. It's a lot of like, well, I'll go to Comixology and just pick something out for like $3.99.
Shout out to my friend Nick, who actually is a huge comic book nerd. Goes every Wednesday to the comic book shop, obviously. And whenever a new issue of either the new TMNT Batman split or the this new Doomsday Clock, he'll send me a picture, be like, "Hey, do you want me to pick this up for you?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, pick this up for me. It's $3-4, whatever." And then earlier on this year, they had a Flash Batman crossover with the Button from Watchmen. So for me, this is the question. I think when I was looking at my Doomsday line right now, it's a great storyline, very cool drawing, sticks to Alan Moore's kind of depiction of both universes. What does it take for you to jump into that world? Like The Walking Dead, I think The Walking Dead's the last comic, and maybe Preacher, because it was one of the main ones that people actually went back to the lines and it helped drive sales. But they've kind of evened out at this point. Has there been something, or what does it take for you to be like, oh, I need to go in there? Like if Watchmen merging with DC isn't enough for you to maybe want to get there, then is there anything that would?
No. Because if it's really that popular, they're going to make a movie anyway.
So, like, the death of Superman doesn't even matter anymore, right? Because they've done so many of it, too. Like, the gimmicks are gone.
Yep.
So what would it take for the comic book industry to succeed when it comes to, like, the next generation? Because you work with kids. It's all about YouTube, and, like, they watch these short-term videos. So is the next thing to make comic book animations? Is the next thing to make...
Yeah, it's all about movies. It's YouTube. It's... Look at like Netflix. There's like 17 superhero shows that you probably never even heard of.
Dead though. Like that's the thing. Like literature isn't dead.
Paper's dead.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't too long ago when
tablets.
Perhaps
people read comics don't read paperbacks anymore. That like you're talking about a niche to a niche at this point.
I agree. It is
like the people that do read comics. 9% of them are doing it on their iPad, and then that little 10% who's doing the little 10% thing is doing an even littler thing.
So
it's just like I said. There's nothing. If Watchmen and Batman aren't going to get you back into it, nothing's getting you back. The biggest thing with superheroes this year has been Injustice for DC.
Well, I think
when it comes to non-movies, was the video game.
Video game, I agree. And I think this is their third biggest thing is the Doomsday Clock because even that got a little.
And at that point, you're like a far third. It's not a close third. It's just like actually, they're animated. I'd say would be a little above that too.
When their Batman Ninja comes out, that would have.
They have that. Captain by Gaslight. They have Suicide Squad coming out again, which was great.
And their animation's always pretty good to really good.
Justice League Dark was good. Like they had a bunch of good ones.
I just really wanted to talk to you about that because I'm really enjoying this run.
Nerd.
Even I sit there and I'm like, I don't know.
Yes, Mike, you are a super nerd.
No, that's fine, but like I don't know if even I like past that. Like I love the Flash, I love the TV show, I love everything about superheroes. Like to me,
is he in jail or something?
Yeah, it's really good. Goldberg was in it. So
rape scene in Flash, huh?
So he's called
Goldberg's
Mr.
dropping
Sir.
the hammer.
It's actually really good. So
I'm sure it is, Mike.
It is. You're a hater. So
how's that Scooby-Doo Supernatural episode going?
I cannot wait. Shout out Scooby-Doo and the Winchesters together. CW, Warner Brothers.
Scooby-Doo hasn't been relevant since Freddie Prinze
can't
Jr.
make a good superhero movie, but they know how to make 13 amazing seasons of Supernatural, Alex.
They went 8 over. They should have been done at 5.
Over 300 episodes.
That's ridiculous.
Of fighting demons.
It's like
angels.
Guys, it's like Vampire Diaries. Only girls watch, and Mike.
You're a hater. The 100 was really good too.
Yeah, exactly. Their good shows get canceled too early, and their bad shows last forever.
That's a hate. Alex, it's Oscar season. Has anything caught your eye of what you want? We're telling people kind of what the order is.
Happened in that?
Nothing's really happened in that front, but like, are you
biggest thing in movies? Black Panther premiered the other day. It's getting crazy hype. Not as crazy as I would like because I think people are racist. I'm kidding. Yeah, it is getting good hype though. People like it. People love it. It's it's one of those movies that I think the hype it lives up to it, so it's not really a surprise.
There's no way it could surprise.
There's no surprise.
Yeah,
but like I guess that's good because you don't want a surprise because the only surprise could have been terrible.
Did you like the Ant-Man trailer?
Oh, I loved it. I don't like.
Yeah, so did I. I really liked
the group.
It. Yeah,
no, I didn't really like it. I loved.
Yeah, I know you loved it. I really.
I think it looks amazing. I love Lily James. Like she is. She looks great. Yeah. I love Michael Douglas. People, he's a genius. Obviously, he like bolted down all the tables and furniture in that building.
Are people really talking shit about that?
People are really talking shit about the little bit. I'm like, guys, he's a genius. You don't think he planned that he was gonna do this? Come on, y'all. Like, get with it.
I really enjoyed
everything's bolted down.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Or it's gonna be hilarious. Like he opens it up and everything's out of the place. So either way, you're gonna get an answer. People, relax. It's Marvel. It's not DC. You're gonna get an answer to stupid questions.
And like honestly, at this point, where I'm at is just. I want to get there. Like, I hate talking about it because I'm just so...
Well, that's what the problem with Marvel is. Like, I guess it's good they let the reviews go out so early, but then you're like, damn, I got to wait like 2 fucking weeks for this stuff. What is it? Like, it's not even next... Is it next
February,
week?
Yeah, February 16th, February 9th.
That's 2 big different dates, Mike. Which one is it?
No, I think it's 2 weeks from now.
Well, I need to know.
Here, I could look it up right now, guys. So... But at the end of the day, the only thing I know...
It's got to be February 9th. Oh, that's next weekend. It's February 16th? No, that's... When's Valentine's Day? It's not Valentine's Day weekend. It's the weekend before, isn't it?
February 15th.
Really?
Premiere, yeah.
It's coming out Valentine's Day weekend?
Yeah. So it's going to make a shitload of money.
Why didn't it come out the weekend before? It should have, because that stupid movie's going to... Like, are couples really going to... I mean, I guess the black culture is, and black culture equals money. But I just feel like you should have done the week before because you are going to lose, even if it's just because I feel like even if you're going to lose only lose 20 million to that 50 Shades movie, that's 20 million. You could have still got opening weekend.
That movie's going to make its money no matter what.
Oh, no,
50 Shades is going to make its money against anybody.
Let's see. It was Black Panther was like the people were like 120 million, which I think about 100 million is perfect for a non-team up movie at this point.
Right.
I obviously I think the high guess is 160. I'm more on the high end. I think if you don't. It's definitely making more than 150. I think it's going higher in there.
Yeah.
I think it's almost for sure like the crazy hype it's getting, black culture and the superhero culture. Like you're combining so many things and it's good.
So what are you guessing? You want to do that now or you want to wait?
We can wait. We got 2 more weeks.
Yeah, let's wait till premiere week.
We'll wait.
Guessing, yeah. I'm excited though. Like I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp looks really fun, and it's almost like they got the palette perfectly. You have Black Panther, which just seems to be all energy and hype and
but here's my question to you: is there a problem with the fact that Infinity War is kind of in the middle of these things where it's like to me there is because I'm like I can't really like I enjoy the Ant-Man and Wasp, but I'm like wait, isn't there gonna be like a world destroying thing happening right before this?
I don't think we know for a fact when Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place.
I get that. I'm like, so we gotta wait till we see it, but now I gotta live with it a few months being like, oh shit, Ant-Man died in Infinity War. What the
I think Ant-Man might die in Infinity War. For all we know, like
they're not gonna kill Paul Rudd. He's adorable.
But they don't. I don't think they would mind.
He's adorable.
I agree, but can you imagine? You have Ant-Man and the Wasp. We know what happens to Paul Rudd, and then part 3 is just called the Wasp. It's perfect. Then you have women power, and you talk about another culture. It makes I'm gonna leave that boo in there.
Stop killing Paul Rudd.
Okay. All right, Alex. Let's go
let
ahead
him at least be in a wheelchair or something. Jesus, you don't have to kill the man to make an all-women movie. God, dude.
This show's been a mess. Let's take a quick break and let everybody gather themselves.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.
All right, Alex, it's been a fun show. Do we have anything else rattling through the brain that we want to go into? Really slow time here. It's the end of January. We're going into February really fast. I watched Black Lightning last night. Another, not as good of an episode as the first two. This one definitely felt more CW. This one definitely felt more, it's a 22-episode season and we're going to feel it type of thing. The ending was very strong. the points, like the overall arc is very strong. It just wasn't as strong of an episode. I really enjoyed it though.
I think that it's the format at this point. It's like no matter how good something is, it's like it's 20. That's a lot of TV.
A lot of TV.
Like there is no perfect or amazing 22 episode shows
And
on
like,
TV.
and it's funny you mentioned that because we've had this argument about The Flash forever. You just don't think it's good anymore.
It's not.
And to me,
I
is
don't
good.
think it is. It's not.
I think it's good. And the problem,
I think even the way you describe it, it's like it's good.
It's
Not-
good.
It used to be. It's good.
But
Nah,
I don't.
think
But
it's good.
this is my argument. It's the same
And I
22
shrugged.
thing. I don't know if it's because we have so many episodes that they all just start blending in together, or if it is we've just seen so much great that we don't. It just again, all of it is just so solid. Because I never walk out of a Flash episode saying this was horrible.
That was my whole. That was a whole. I've seen 3 episodes and all 3 were really bad to me.
I disagree.
Really bad.
I think
the season premiere was terrible.
I think if you talk about bad episodes,
Look,
watch
I'm out of the
season
Speed
1.
Force. I don't know how to talk anymore.
No, watch, which is going to come back and play into the
Jesus
series.
Christ, it looks so bad.
Watch Gotham season 1. Watch Gotham season 2, and tell me that's not the worst television.
That's fine.
To superhero
That's
stuff.
what it felt
then compare
like.
it to everything else.
Watching
Watch
Flash
season 3
this
of
season,
Arrow.
watching Flash this first season felt like I was watching Gotham again. It's like,
I
man,
disagree.
why am I forcing
I
myself
think
to
you
watch
walked
this?
into it. I think you walked into it with
Very
a little
excited.
Bit of, no, I think you walked into it very much fatigued for that show.
No, it was gone for a whole year. How?
I
I
remember
was
that
so
you were
excited.
very much.
That first episode, I walked in, I'm like, yeah.
No, you were against in last season about the whole Savitar thing. I remember having many conversations about Savitar with you.
But like that's when it killed my excitement.
I don't disagree.
It's
that
not like I
Savitar
went
was
into it
not
like,
great.
oh,
Was
I'm not
not
gonna
good.
like it. Like I went in thinking, okay, Savitar ended. I'm like, all right, let's get some Wally. Let's get some. Nope, never mind. They did exactly what they said they weren't gonna do. Barry's back.
Do you just want to do a whole show about CW shows? And just argue about that for 40 minutes?
Yeah, I guess we can do that because to me, it's like no matter how bad these shows are, because look at Supernatural. You cannot tell me it has not gone down in quality.
I don't think
it's
so.
going to be around forever, though.
And I heard the best thing from the actors of that show. They're like, they even know while they're filming, because, they film a few episodes ahead, that they catch themselves. Unlike a lot of shows just in general, like AKA The Walking Dead, when they don't catch themselves and they just go down the shit rabbit hole they go down. These shows at least take the chance because they have creators that love them and they don't have the millions of ratings that others do.
Walking Dead
They
has
take
zombies
away.
or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Christ.
That's fine.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Okay, whatever, dude.
Oh,
Well, we
he's
can have.
dying.
Yeah, I know. You know what? That's another episode too. We're gonna argue about CW, and then we're gonna have a whole episode about arguing about The Walking Dead.
Yeah, guess what Supernatural has that The Walking Dead doesn't have? They took their dad. So now I like Walking Dead better because the best part of Supernatural is on The Walking Dead.
He left his baseball bat inside the car.
Yeah.
It was a great insight.
No, he went back and got it apparently and threw some barbed wire on that shit.
Listen, you watch the way you talk about Dr. Thomas Wayne, okay, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, sir? That's a new Batman.
Yeah, no one watched the movie, remember? No one saw the movies,
Yeah,
Mike.
nobody watched any of it.
It's
Sorry.
not.
All right.
It's DC. No one watches it anymore, apparently.
Right. Any last thoughts, Alex? Do you have anything you wanted to kind of get to?
No, let's get to the Super Bowl. I guess that's the most exciting thing happening.
I'm really
Black
excited
Panther.
for the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, Super Bowl party. It just came to my head. Maybe Nicole and I will talk about this on pizza night. But let me get your thought because you're a fat ass. What do you think about? As I look at you.
See, like I look at you and Nicole, and you guys are very hit or miss. Because I've been to some of your parties and I'm like, damn, this is a pumping ass party. I've been to your parties. I'm like, God, this is so lame. Like, really, Nicole? Chili? Like, you could have got just some pizzas, dude. Like,
the rivalry continues.
But like Halloween pumping party, that party was dope.
That was a fun
and then I
party.
think there was one before where I'm like, ugh, this party's kind of lame.
So
like,
what makes
you
you
guys
a
are
Super Bowl party?
First of all, like, don't get complicated with your food. Pizza, wings. If you can't get it at a pizzeria, like, don't get it. Like, I don't want chicken breast. Like, okay, that'd be okay. I guess that's fine. Like, if you want to be healthier, but like, I don't want gumbo. I don't want rice. I don't want that stuff. I want pizza. I want wings. I want, if it's good enough to grill some dogs or something. Chips, beer. You need alcohol. You cannot watch Super Bowl without alcohol. Mm-hmm. Like, don't make it an unalcoholic Super Bowl because that's just lame. You gotta get crunk. Like, if you're not a little drunk by the end of that game, you didn't do the game right, in my opinion. It's Super Bowl. It's a 4-hour football game. Like, you, with a lot of in-between nonsense and a lot of cool commercials. Like, you need to get drunk for this.
That's something good. We'll do our favorite commercials next week.
I guess we can talk about that
that'd be
next
kind
week.
of fun, too. Do you have any Super Bowl commercials kind of stick out of your head before we head home? Anything ever stick out in your mind?
We'll do it next week. I have to think about it.
Because there's some good ones.
Maybe that's a whole episode.
GoDaddy.com had a few good ones.
I like the Doritos.
Doritos
keep
are
your hands
really
off my
good.
mama. Keep your hands off my Doritos.
Yeah, it's really good. You know what?
All the Coke ones are always good.
That's gonna be a fun one. And then,
all the sad ones with Bud, and then it's a Bud Light commercial. Like, oh wow.
Last question of the show: do we get
If it's Han Solo, I don't care.
a solo?
They waited too long. I don't care anymore. I want Harloff. I don't care. Like, I am so unexcited about this because of them. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Like, why could we not have gotten a trailer already?
I agree. You know that movie comes out in 4 months.
No, less. Like 3 months, dude.
It comes out in May.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Basically,
it's
3
basically
months.
months.
It's more than 3 months, honestly.
Wow.
That's some change. So at this point, I don't care. I don't care. Like, this has to be the greatest trailer in the history of trailers for me to care, and it's not going to be.
It's gonna get delayed.
It's not going to be. No,
It's
it's
gonna
not.
get
I don't
December.
think it is. I don't think they're willing to. Too much money. They're not going to spend any more money on it. They don't want to. At this point, they're like, hey, it's Star Wars. Make $80 million your opening weekend. We'll live. We'll be fine.
Gonna get fired.
No.
After episode 9.
No. I don't think so.
I think so.
I think you're ignorant.
That's
Ignorant.
very true. All right, let's go home, Alex. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode, whatever this was, of Mercado.
Oh, wait, I got to say,
Good Brothers.
live to Merc another day. Did I use that one yet?
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.